I think that people deserve the truth, plain and simple.
4 years after a deadly gas explosion in Aurora,
I think that people deserve to really know what happened at Heather Gardens.
Denver 7 Investigates is bringing serious questions to light.
Knowing what you now know, did the Aurora Fire Department get off easy here?
I'd say so. That's what I would like our fire department to review. What could have been done differently?
The blaze at the retirement community killed a woman and destroyed several homes.
I believe Carol should be alive today.
Now there are new accusations by a former deputy fire chief of a cover-up.
Chief investigative reporter Tony Kowaleski breaking this story tonight.
We have an active gas leak on the end of this building. You can smell it. Pull your guys back. Back it up, back it up.
We've got multiple active gas leaks.
You're seeing a chaotic incident.
Hey! Back up! Now!
A tremendous amount of fire, a lot of hazards.
For the first time, you were seeing up close the aftermath of a massive gas explosion.
We're gonna regroup. Yeah, I know, man.
They're trying to bring order to chaos.
And you are about to hear details. A former deputy chief says Aurora Fire worked to keep secret.
The number one job in the fire rescue service is the protection of life or saving of life.
We got a report that 3 people inside.
In this case, searches weren't initiated for more than an hour into the incident.
When we made our initial request to look at this video, how did the leadership of the fire department respond?
They denied even knowing that the video existed.
What's that say to you?
We're trying to keep things quiet, cover it up.
We ask everybody to back up.
More than 4 years later, you are now getting the inside story.
The fire department was spinning a story that they did everything humanly possible to prevent the loss of life and property.
Is that the truth?
No. Major mistakes were made.
Steve McInerney is not the only one now raising questions about the Aurora Fire Department's response and decisions on the day 82-year-old Carol Ross lost her life at Heather Gardens.
Carol should not have been killed that night.
Dean Adams also questions the performance of the Aurora Fire Department.
I'll never understand. Not one person thought to even start an evacuation.
Earlier this year, he spent 3 weeks as a juror hearing testimony disturbing details of what happened before the gas leak exploded into a 3-alarm fire.
You spent 3 weeks hearing testimony. What's your message now to the Aurora Fire Department?
My message to the Aurora Fire Department is there are questions that need answers.
Adams specifically wanted explanations for 2 critical moments in the trial.
There is testimony throughout the trial that a firefighter told Excel's first responders the houses in the immediate area were clear. There is open testimony throughout the trial. It was a firefighter who told Carol to go back in the house and stay there.
After 2 days of deliberating, Adams and 5 other jurors issued a $32 million verdict, a verdict that blamed the failures on 6 different companies and the Aurora Fire Department. In fact, the verdict said Aurora Fire was the second most responsible, only behind the company that ruptured the gas line.
After this verdict, should the Aurora Fire Department reopen its investigation into what it did?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The explosion occurred in Carol Ross's residence. She was told to go back into her residence and let us know if you smell gas.
In the days that followed the explosion and fire, in his role as Deputy Chief of Operations, Steve McInerney was asked to investigate the fire department's performance.
Major gas leak. It was downgraded. The battalion chief and a ladder company left. About 45 minutes after downgrading it, it exploded.
The information McInerney just shared, the fire department never made public.
They kept the truth from the public, and in this case, from the Heather Garden residents. They were lied to. There were more than a dozen failed processes at this incident that ultimately led to injuries and death and destruction. Should have never happened. But worse, it was all covered up.
McInerney says major mistakes included not calling in the city's on-duty hazmat team, not evacuating the community during an active gas leak and before that explosion, and advising Carol Ross and other residents that it was okay to return to their homes.
I was berated for simply saying that mistakes were made and we need to make changes to prevent it from ever happening again.
Has this juror validated everything you've said for years?
I think, a certain part of me, is vindicated. In the end, I lost my job over it, which is outrageous.
Officially, the city said following an internal personnel investigation, the reports found a number of policy violations occurred. Mr. McInerney is no longer an employee of the city of Aurora.
Steve McInerney, a deputy chief, was fired. Do you consider him credible in this situation?
I do consider him credible.
Curtis Gardner serves as Aurora's mayor pro tem and as a former member of the city's public safety committee.
His viewpoint is there were lessons to be learned, and he got in trouble for trying to make changes. Accurate?
I think it's concerning to hear that. I've always known Chief McInerney to be a strong advocate for firefighters.
Gardner says more important than that personnel issue is the message sent from jurors.
To me, it says that some mistakes were made. To me, it says that some of the orders given by the fire department may have been wrong.
Based on this jury verdict, should the Aurora Fire Department open a new investigation into that fire?
I think the Aurora Fire Department should certainly look into what happened.
So now the pressure moves to the Aurora Fire Department and the city's new fire chief. And the question, will Alec Otten hear the jury's verdict and hear the concerns raised by the city's current mayor pro tem and a former deputy chief?
As you sit there now, do you regret what you did?
I was doing the right thing.
Back away from the fire, multiple gas leaks.
They did a good job covering it up. Long time in coming, but I'm glad that the truth is finally out on what happened.
We requested an interview with Chief Otten. The city told us it would not be appropriate for him to speak on camera now because he is new and not aware of every facet of the Heather Gardens fire. Chief Otten did say in a written statement that he appreciates the concerns raised by the juror. He also says the post-incident analysis has resulted in a much more robust response to gas leaks, and new policies require the use of combustible gas detectors both inside and outside the buildings. So will the chief reopen an investigation? We will keep asking. I'm Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kovaleski.
And Tony and the Denver 7 Investigates team have reported extensively on the Heather Gardens tragedy, including an interview with Carol Ross's son. You can find those stories on denver7.com/investigates.